Welcome back again. Let's talk about marketing. It's all very well writing your book, it's all very well getting a publishing deal, it's all very well the publisher doing their bit. But what are you doing to market your book and get yourself out into the big wide world?
I think it's very much about co-creation, and yes, the publishers are doing their bit, and I think a lot of authors then just sit back and say, well, my publisher's doing it for me. And I think if you're with Penguin or HarperCollins, they probably are, but if you're with a smaller publisher, you have to be doing your bit, and that includes pushing yourself out there. And from what I've heard and read and researched and seen, I think a lot of authors are very shy, and very unsure about what they see as pushing themselves out there. They're very humble, they're very kind of hide behind, stay behind the scenes. But if you're going to be a successful author, to me, you've got to push, you've got to market yourself, you've got to be prepared to talk to people, do interviews, encourage the interviews, go and do book signings, invite yourself to things. Without being cheeky. I mean, for example, 2 weeks after my book came out, I live in Cornwall, and there was an advert up for a literary festival in Cornwall, and I emailed them and I said, can I come? I'm a local author, I've got a book out, can I come? And they said, yes, we'd love to have you. So get yourself out there. On Facebook, when I started this thing, I had 65 friends on my Facebook page, which is about average. These are people I know, I've met, I go to uni with, or friends I've known for years, or family. And when I got the deal, I thought I need to think ahead. Facebook is a massive marketing opportunity. So I'd not long moved, so I was already looking at joining groups and joining things, but it really upped my game to think ahead about what I can join. So I've joined a lot of spiritual groups, angel groups, therapy groups, anything that's related to the book. Not to use them, because I'm genuinely interested in these, and I do interact with these groups and pages all the time. But I look at how I can get more people onto my page, how I can get more likes, how I can get more people to share what they've seen on my page with their friends. I've clicked on promote your page with Facebook and paid the fees, and particular posts, put the post of my book with all the links to buy it, I paid to promote it, and so sort of pushing it like that as well. On a practical level, I've gone into bookstores in my local area and I've asked them if I can do a book signing. My book's available in Waterstones, so I live near Plymouth. Plymouth is my biggest main town, city, so I went into Waterstones and said, can I come and do a book signing here? As soon as you get a yes, you then put that on your Facebook page saying, I'm doing a book signing, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, come along, join in, tell your friends. So that's been great. But for me, I don't know, I've been very blessed because of my spiritual teaching and spiritual interests in the esoteric, in the mystical, in angels. I have so many friends on Facebook that keep adding me and seeing posts that I put up, genuine posts that I put up, not about the book, about other stuff. I post a lot of inspirational stuff. I've done public speaking as a therapist, as an inspirational speaker. So I'll put things up and people will like it. If I see that they've liked it, I then invite them to like me and add me as a friend or like my page. So for example, I will post into an angel group a particular inspirational thought of the day. I might get 20 people like that post or comment on it. I'll go into each of those and add them as a friend. And they'll say, well, do I know you? I don't know you. Why are you asking me to be a friend? I said, well, you liked my post. I thought we had something in common. And they're like, oh yeah, great, okay. So it's gone on from there. So I've now got from 65 people at the beginning of July, and we're now middle of October, to 2,250 people on my Facebook page. I opened up and designed a page for Julie Poole Author, and paid my website guy who does my hypnotherapy website to set me up an author website, which is great. You do need that. You need to think about your marketing tools. And everything that I'm doing, I post onto the page. I put extracts of the book up on the page, so that people can see what style it is. My style is chatty, whimsical, light-hearted, but poignant. There are some real bawdy moments in there where you'll my son was in tears. He's 27 and he's a man, and I saw him when he was working through, I think it was chapter 6 or 7 on the first book with me, and at the end of the book he had a lump in his throat and a tear in his eye, and he went tried to hide it, but it's really starting to allow other people to drive it forward for you. But it's your ball. You've got to take responsibility to push it and turn the ball into a snowball, and a lot of luck, and don't forget to say thank you. I say thank you every day. I thank my friends on Facebook every day for helping me with this. They share my posts, they like my posts. It wouldn't happen without them. So gratitude and a little bit of humility, but at the same time a little bit of pushiness. You're selling a product. Your product is you. Your product is your book. Be professional. So 6 months ago, if I'd had a bad day, there were 65 people I know on my Facebook, and I'd say, shit day, terrible day, rah, rah, rah. And now I can't do that. These are people that would look at me and think, it's inspirational. Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm human. I have a bad day too. But I know I have to think about what I'm saying on Facebook in terms of how it'll be perceived publicly. So things have shifted there in terms of the way I view. I'm a public figure now, which seems very strange and a little bit surreal. But I've got to look at it like that. And at the moment, yes, it's 2,200. Some of the authors out there have got millions of followers. It will get to a point on Facebook you're only allowed 5,000 friends. So I'll have to close it down, open up a new page that is a public figure page, which is again a little surreal. But then there's no limitations on it. So,
what hasn't worked?
In terms of marketing,
Yeah. Has been anything where you've gone, that was a waste of money?
not yet. No, not yet. The biggest outlay for me was buying the books for the book signing. So obviously that was quite a big chunk of my money. I mean, the publishers will send out a few freebies, which I've sent out 10, 12 free books, and they're, it's quite a substantial amount for me to give away. But you've got to invest to get it back. So I've sent a couple to a radio show. They're going to review it. They're going to interview me. Then they're going to give those books away as prizes. I've given away signed copies as prizes as well, for raffle prizes and things like that. So I don't know if that will work or it doesn't work, but my sales are going up, so I think it works. So far, no, it's I haven't put money into anything that hasn't worked yet.
You put time into
Oh my God,
that has been a waste.
Time, has it been a waste? With all this pushing and promoting, so I spend at least once a week posting I've joined so many writers groups and Kindle groups and Amazon groups and things like this, and I post my book onto those pages once a week. And that can take me, I can post onto 100, 150 pages. I can probably spend 10 hours a day doing promotion and marketing just on Facebook, and contacting the press and contacting the newspapers, radio shows, saying to them, I've written a book, would you be interested in interviewing me? Would you be interested in me coming on your show? But there's a warning in there in terms of, if you're not a good public speaker, don't do it. It'll do you more harm than good. Yes, now there's one you asked me what hasn't worked. This was a learning curve for me. I just thought all publicity is good publicity. If people from the television or radio ask to interview you, you say yes, thank you very much, and be happy to do it. I was asked to be interviewed by a internet radio show in America, and I looked at their stats, 50,000 listeners, viewers, listeners, and I thought, happy days, 50,000 people know about my book, yes please. I didn't actually look at what kind of radio show they were. I didn't do any research about them. I just said yes please, arranged it, and then the day of the interview I actually looked on their page and saw the sorts of stuff that they do, and my hair curled and my eyes kind of went and my jaw dropped, and I thought, this isn't good. So I then had a chat with the host on Skype, and he was a very strange individual, let's say, okay. And I just realised that this was not the right platform for my book. They were going to be discussing a recent case of a rival radio station that they were going to name and shame, that the rival host that they were going to name and shame that had just been done for child sex abuse, and then they were going to introduce me and my book on angels. And I just felt, oh my days, this is not a good platform for my book. I don't agree with naming and shaming people. I don't want to be involved in that negativity. I felt it would do me more harm than good, so I pulled out. And the host did not appreciate it, didn't have a guest to fill the spot, and spent the whole show absolutely ripping me apart, ridiculing me, ridiculing my book, and insulting me to the point where it's with the lawyers. So I was called a whore, I was called a Nazi. I mean, it was beyond reasonable. So yes, I think there are some things that can harm you, and you need to be careful. I've learned a valuable lesson from this. I take responsibility. I should have done my homework before I agreed to do the show. So yeah, it's a learning curve and a steep one.
What's your best moment? I mean, you in marketing, you're obviously going to be using reviews and testimonials and personal recommendations that people get. What are the nice things? Let's end this segment with something positive.
I think, yeah, again, it's part of the marketing. As people have put reviews on Amazon, I've cut and pasted them onto my page. I've shared them with everybody saying these are the reviews. I don't edit them. So if there are negative comments, I leave them in. I think you should. And it's been lovely. I think the first review when I saw, I loved this book, 5 stars, can't wait for the next one, I was in tears. You know, it was amazing.
Excellent. Right, we're going to cut this bit off and then wrap it up in the last part.